Greetings and welcome to Unlocking the Matrix, episode 5. And I have deliberately entitled this one Intimacy, because it is about time that we got intimate. And the title is deliberate, because I'm sure some of you have looked out of curiosity purely based on that title. But what is intimacy? Because all words have two meanings. Into ma, cy. What is the ma? The Mary, the area. It's space. Anti-Mary is another way of looking at it. The divine feminine, that is what it is referring to. What is the matrix? It's a trix on Ma, which is always short for Mary and Mars. It's the divine feminine yet again. It's funny how things happen and what comes about. I make no apology for this. Look what I'm doing here. I'm holding a cigarette. It took me several days before I realised what I'm actually doing here. And this is black nightshade with tobacco. It's interesting. Certainly helps with the channeling of things. I've said before, and I can bring this in again, visible light on the electromagnetic spectrum. Humanity only sees a very tiny bandwidth, just like the way a radio can only tune in to one frequency. Well, this awakening is all about opening up, and that includes opening up your vision. I make no apology and it is not unintended when I say that you need to see with your ears and hear with your eyes, because it's not just the physical we're talking about here, we're talking about the spiritual eye, the spiritual ear. Some of you will experience going to the doctors because there has been something that appears to be wrong, and you'll find increasingly that the results coming back, that whatever it was has cleared up. Was it any wonder? They're only dealing with the three-dimensional. Now, something very interesting I was thinking of earlier. If I say angels, people will automatically conjure up that image of something in a human form with these great big wings, and let's face it, they would have to be huge wings to lift the average weight human being in adult form. Even this disability friendly age we live in is not going to alter the doors to allow you to get those wings in. And think about it logically of how the body plan of the human body would have to be changed dramatically to accommodate 2 extra limbs and these massive wings to be able to lift you off the ground. But that is not to say that there are not angels. And there are fallen angels as well. But the thing is, it's the spelling. I'll just show you something. Right. You see this piece of paper and you can see what's written on it. Well, some of you can. All right, I'll just put that down for a minute. Take the little bottle, give it a shake. We'll undo the top. Because we don't want to spill this. Here's the piece of paper. Now watch what happens. That should be enough. See what happens there? Look what's happened to the word on the paper. The right and the spell. On a sliced piece of dead tree is now being shown. This is alchemy. Science is entrenched in physics, whether it be theoretical or the physical. It is all about the physical, same as when you go to a doctor. It is only dealing with the physical. Well, you are soul and mind as well as body. So you need to look at those things as well. Because in every dimension there's a play out in another dimension. So, it's my left hand, but to you, on the screen, it will appear right. And I'll say to you, I challenge you to prove me wrong. Because this is not wrong, this is knowledge, this is not intellect. This does not come from a control system of an education system that is teaching conformity. I'm pretty certain I said it on the last video, part 4, but just to reiterate, or if I haven't said it, the thing the school is not teaching is the fish in a school will come together if they feel threatened. Unity, untie your soul from the trap of this control system and the illusion of it all. Because you can get through this. You want to know who the chosen are. They're the ones that choose. The ones that choose to listen. Just like you can make the choice whether you want to carry on listening, whether you want to believe me or not. But I'm going to ask you this. Are you prepared to take the risk that I'm totally wrong? The choice is yours. It always will be. Always has been and always will be. And that is critical to understand that. You need to go inside yourself to get these answers. All I can do is give you pointers along the way. But likewise, what is a fallen angel? It's fouled by the vows. It's a falling angle. You're all fallen angels because you've been fooled by an angle that has been sold to you, probably through religion. We'll try and see it from my angle. See it how I see it. When I see a human outline and I see the lights, and I can see whether you're going to make it through this. Because you can believe me or not believe me on this. There's an Agenda 21, but don't forget there's also an Agenda 12. And just look how important that number 12 is to everything. There is a lot of talk about this transgender agenda. And once again, like everything else, there is a dark side and there is a light side. In a physical form, you may be in a male or a female body. It doesn't matter. What about in the spiritual sense? Because you are duality. You have a divine feminine and a divine masculine. That is where the light side transgender comes in. Because it is up to the man, the divine masculine, to make the first move with this one. I've said this before as well. Are you going to wait for the divine feminine to approach you, or are you going to make the first move, just as you would if you were asking a lady out on a date? This is in the spiritual sense. So you make the first move. Try and see it from the point of view of the divine feminine. That does not mean you're going to suddenly change sex. I don't know if maybe that is the fear of it. Feeling effeminate because of the way this system has taught people to be. This alpha male image. Tattoos and let's go down the gym and make the body a temple. And let's give in and feed the ego. But you can see from the play out how the male ego has clearly failed. Because it is taking part in wars. You are soul dyers. You are being used as pawns in this deadly game of chess. we are approaching the end of the fifth age of humanity. The Mayans said that it's the end of the fifth age of the sun, and the world would be destroyed by fire. But the question nobody considers with that one, or the previous destruction, which was a flood. You've got water and you've got fire. You have two elements there. But what triggered those elements is the question you need to ask. What would trigger a fire? Chemtrails? 5G? But there's no need to even be fearful of that, because if you understand how magnetics work, the magnet, the divine feminine, you will not be affected by this because you will not allow it into your personal space. I thought I'd bring these few points up because the answers are all there. You just need to go inside yourself and find them and listen to the words and see how they work both ways. They are lawful and legal in Black's Law Dictionary, and it applies to both sides. Thank you.